So, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? 5, 3, or maybe you did not sleep at all last night. After all, it's a weekend, and it's only normal to spend weekend nights watching something, or reading, or just staying up chatting with friends. Basically, doing anything but sleeping. Why waste time on sleeping when you can do so much, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but sleep is often seen as time wasted, lost forever. There are proverbs that warn you about being left behind while sleeping in practically every language. There are idioms like got napping or burning the midnight oil. So, those of you who want to make something of themselves in life, cut down on sleep. An average adult sleeps for about 6.8 hours a night. The national average in India is about 6 hours and 20 minutes. Do you know these numbers can kill us? Science says an average adult needs to sleep at least 7.5 hours every night. Sleep cleanses and maintains our body, brain, and heart. Sleep is also needed for processing and learning all the information that we've gathered throughout the day. If you're having trouble recalling names, information, or trivia, blame it on your sleep or lack of it. 7.5 hours per night is the recommended amount of sleep. Now that we know how much we should sleep, the next question is, when should we sleep? Can we complete our sleep quota in the mornings, afternoons, and evenings too? Again, here is what science says. People are their sleepiest at 2 points in the day, between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So the best time to go to sleep is between 8 p.m. and midnight. Early to bed, early to rise. Our Vedas say we should wake up around 3:30 a.m. It's called the Brahma Muhurat, the time of the Creator. But this is impossible in the world that we've created for ourselves, isn't it? Most of us work shifts or late into the night. What happens if we sleep after midnight? A study says late bedtime is related to depressive symptoms. Some experts believe that if you sleep by 2 a.m. but complete your 7.5 hours of sleep, you are safe, meaning there is no risk of cardiovascular diseases or diabetes as such. But there is a catch here. If you're sleeping late, you need to ensure that your sleep is undisturbed. It really doesn't happen, does it? With the morning comes doorbells, work calls, noise of traffic, school, college, milkman, everything. As a result, our sleep is hampered and we end up sleep deprived. The next question is, what happens if you're not sleeping enough? There's a drop in health and productivity at work. Let's look at health first. Sleep deprivation is linked to physical health problems like cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, and I'm not making this up. Researchers at Hong Kong University conducted a study and found a discernible damage in DNA of those whose sleep was disrupted even for a single night. One single night. Let's look at mental health problems now. Lack of sleep is linked to anxiety and depression. Do you know we also put on weight if we don't sleep well? King's College London conducted a study in 2016. It found that sleep-deprived people consume an average of about 385 kilocalories extra per day. A study was carried out by researchers at Pennsylvania State University, and this is as recent as in 2019. Researchers studied people in their 20s. Half of the volunteers got regular sleep, while the other half slept less than 5 hours each night. Now, the sleep-deprived lot ended up feeling less full than the others after eating a high fat meal. Leptin and ghrelin are two hormones that explain the link between sleep deprivation and obesity. Leptin tells the brain that you're full, and ghrelin urges you to eat more. Sleep deprived people have low levels of leptin and high levels of ghrelin. Sleep deprivation is also linked to lack of productivity. If you don't get enough sleep, you're groggy at work. It's also hard to concentrate. You know the drill, we've all been there. As a result, people end up being less productive. This loss of productivity affects your country's GDP, and these numbers are increasing by the day. And this is something India should be looking at closely. You know why? Because in India, staying back late at work and sleeping less is regarded as professionalism. So here's the moral of the story so far. Sleep deprivation is helping no one except the market. Brands are capitalizing on our lack of sleep, on our happiness. Most of us are scrolling through our phones, tablets, and devices while going to bed. These devices emit blue light, which increases the production of cortisol in our body, which further makes it difficult to fall asleep. And now brands are promising to make us fall asleep. They come bottled in form of lotions, chemicals, and candles. Sleep comes in paid apps that plays sleep-inducing sounds. Do you know falling asleep takes around 10 to 15 minutes? But if you manage to doze off within a few minutes, it means you're sleep deprived. Sleep today has become a product. In fact, a luxury product. The sleep tech device market is over $10.9 billion. 48.5% of this is held by insomnia segment. By 2026, this market is expected to grow by 16 to 17%. This market is being fueled by our sleeping patterns and our habits. 50% or more women use sleep trackers regularly. More and more people start their day by checking their fitness wristbands and answering this question: did you sleep well? Have you been sleeping well? Have you been sleeping enough? Who are we giving these excuses to? Our web series can be paused. Late night conversations can happen in the mornings too. Work, career, and our dreams can take some rest. Because you know what? If we don't sleep, how will we dream? Take care.